Well, hello and good day to you all. My name is Mr. Frederick, and you're watching Voices for the Voiceless, a Frederick Media production and a subsidiary of Frederick Capital. Today is December the 28th, the last show of the year, 2012, and the title of today's show is Too Big to Fail, Part 4. It's part of our 4-part series, and this is the last conclusion of this show that focuses on Is America Too Big to Fail? And we've talked about issues from Part 1, the health and welfare mentality of the economy. Part 2 covers your 401k and taxes. Just watched Part 3 recently last week, which covers baby boomers and the Healthcare Reform Act of Obamacare, as we could like to call it. So part 4 today is going to look at the AAA rating of our economy, of our country, and our relations to China. So let's get started. America once had a AAA rating, which is our financial structure, which determines how much money we can borrow from other countries. In other words, it determines our buying power, and also it lets other countries know how sovereign we are as a nation to keep taking our debts as well. Now, I have already done a show on this topic called Borrowing for Bonds. Like I have said before, our country has become good at fudging numbers ever since Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. This is why you never saw a big commotion about his trial, even though he's reported to be the biggest scandal of the century. Yet no one covered the story like they would do a celebrity fallout or an O.J. Simpson murder trial. If you recall, the trial alone hit international news for a good month. However, when it came down to Bernie Madoff's trial, it was a done deal, and off to prison was all that we saw of him. No hearings on his testimony was ever covered. No court transcripts was published. No SEC investigation was even mentioned. Now, none of that was done. He went straight to jail like rolling the dice on a Monopoly game. So now that America got an expert on board, it is easy to lie to the rest of the world about our debt. Just fudge the numbers. Bernie can show you how to do it. He has been doing this for 10 plus years without even the FBI or the SEC on his tail. So why not let them do it? That's what it's good for in jail. Do you recall one of our earlier shows? I said we are one of the most indebted countries in the world. And in exchange for that right to be the most indebted country in the world, all wars have been blocked from ever setting foot in this great country of ours. Aside from 9/11, if you want to call it a war on America, we took the war to the Middle East. 12 years later, we are still in this war. Now, imagine if that was happening in the United States, the rest of the world would literally stop functioning. And that is because we consume all of the crap that other countries make up and we import. Yet we cry broke and claim that all Americans should buy American-made products. If you have not figured out the American con game, let me help you. There is no such thing as American-made product today. We get just about everything from overseas. Sadly to say, not even the American flag, which we are so patriotic about, is not even made in America. It is made in China, like everything else seems to be made in China. So let us close with China, our so-called big brother in actuality. As much as we like to watch our fellow neighbors like Greece, Italy, Spain, Portugal, etc., fighting over their debt crisis issues, in hindsight, that is really where we are heading towards ourselves. We are just playing the game too big to fail for now. And that is why China is still playing along with us, as well as the rest of the world from whom we borrow money from to continue on with this charade of ours. We have passed our debt ceiling threshold many years ago, and we are thinking about increasing it again. If you are listening carefully to the news, they are saying that the debt ceiling will need to be raised up again in a few years, maybe even as close as 2014 again. So even though maybe they come out with a solution for the fiscal cliff, all we're doing is kicking the can down the road, as it says over and over. And how many generations has that been going on? Although China is the number one carrier of our debt, at some point in time, we must all say enough is enough. However, that will not happen. It will take China overtaking the US as the number one world power within the next 10 to 20 years, as it is being forecast and expected to do so sooner than later, at the rate in which we are bleeding money every single day. But let's not forget one very important thing. All the world powers are also playing the same game too. It's called putting all of your eggs in one basket. As much as China is being recognized for its economic growth within the last few years, they too are in a bubble waiting to be burst. China has built its infrastructure with the same deck of cards that was America's housing bubble in 2008. So whichever comes first, we will see a domino effect waiting to happen, as all major countries will face their own version of a Great Depression. This concludes our show for today and our 4-part series on Too Big to Fail. Once again, due to the magnitude of this topic, I will not be given a conclusion summary because there is definitely more to come. This concludes also the last show for the year. Thank you for watching Voices for the Voiceless. I hope you had a great Christmas and a safe New Year. I am Dimitri Frederick, signing off. As always, I hope you have been enlightened, empowered, and definitely have been educated. Take care and God bless. See you in 2013.